My wife cheated on me for an entire year. When I found out, I didn't yell. I planned something for her that she'd never forget. There's this feeling, a slow, creeping sensation that something is wrong. You can't explain it, you just know. Like your subconscious is watching your life unravel before your conscious mind catches up. That was me, standing in my kitchen one quiet Thursday morning, sipping black coffee, while my wife Vanessa hummed off-key in the bathroom. My name is Daniel Mercer. I'm 48 years old, logistics analyst, decent shape, good hairline, no drinking problem, no criminal record. I was a model husband. Or, so I thought. Vanessa and I had been together since our junior year at NC State. I proposed at our graduation picnic. It was corny, yes, but it made her cry. She said yes like it was the only word she'd ever known. We built our life together. One argument, one mortgage payment, one inside joke at a time. We have a daughter, Sophie, 22. Brilliant in the way people are when they're young and naive. Her fiancé, Tyler, is from money. Big Asheville family, old oil and land. Probably the kind of people who own horses they never ride. Vanessa loved that. But back to the feeling, that quiet, bone-deep knowing that something is off. It started with a work trip. Vanessa was invited to speak at a marketing conference in Atlanta. She's a creative director, slick presentations, artsy glasses, design lingo I'll never understand. She was giddy like a teenager. New clothes, new perfume, new underthings I found the receipt for but never saw her wear. When she came home, she smelled like bourbon and hotel shampoo. She smiled too brightly, hugged too loosely, and left her phone on silent all weekend. It buzzed once on the nightstand. Just a preview. Wellness reminder. Your 9 p.m. session is confirmed. That's not an app notification. I checked. It was a contact, a message disguised as self-care. And that was when I knew. I didn't say anything, not then. I wanted facts, not guesses. I wanted to be precise. So I started watching. Not obsessively, just enough. She got more careless. Late meetings. Secret smiles while texting. One time, she left her phone face up on the kitchen counter. I memorized the number. Travis Howard. I Googled him before she came back inside. Photographer. Freelance. 41. Divorced. And from the looks of his portfolio, deeply invested in sensual portraiture. I wanted to puke. So I hired a private investigator. A pro. Silent and efficient. 3 weeks later, I had everything. Photos of hotel entrances, receipts, screenshots, even a voicemail where she told him, "I wish Daniel was more like you." I remember sitting in my home office, staring at the evidence and thinking, she's really doing this. She thinks I'll just take it. Then the kicker. Sophie called me the next day, said she and Tyler had decided on a fall wedding. She was glowing. Vanessa was ecstatic. And then, as casually as ordering coffee, she added, "Oh, and I hope you won't freak out, but I want Travis at the wedding." I blinked. Travis who? Travis, Mom's friend. She says he helped her get through a tough time, and I think it's sweet. You guys can be civil, right? I didn't respond. Just let the silence do the talking. I didn't confront Vanessa that night, or the next. I played the long game. Let her think I was clueless. Let her make mistakes. Instead, I started quietly untangling the web. I cashed out $600,000 in stock options and slid it into an offshore account. Took a personal loan out against the house, $1.8 million. Vanessa didn't notice because the paperwork was routed through a secondary shell account we'd set up during a kitchen remodel years ago. Next, I met with our accountant and had him quietly begin separating our finances. Legally, invisibly. Vanessa always bragged about how financially clueless she was. I counted on that. Meanwhile, I canceled our joint credit cards one by one, reissuing them as individual accounts. Hers now carried the full wedding charges. The $20,000 photographer. Hers. The $7,000 floral deposit. Also hers. I watched from the shadows as she racked up bills she thought I was covering. She was too busy giggling into late-night calls with Travis to notice. A few weeks before the wedding, I asked Vanessa to dinner. She looked surprised but said yes. I reserved her favorite table at her favorite French restaurant. She wore a red dress I'd never seen before. "I'm glad you're starting to come around," she said, sipping wine. "Life's short," I replied. "No use dwelling." She smiled, oblivious. During dessert, I pulled out a folder and slid it across the table. "What's this?" she asked. "Proof." She opened it, her face drained of color. "Where did you— Does it matter?" She looked at me, tears welling. "It didn't mean anything, Daniel. I still love you." My voice was cold. "You don't get to say that to me. Daniel, please, let's talk this through. Let's fix this." And then she said the words that shattered any hope of reconciliation. "I want you and Travis to coexist." I laughed. I actually laughed. "You want me to share you?" She nodded. "I can't let him go, but I don't want to lose you either." I stood up, dropped enough cash on the table to cover the check, and said, "I'm not your emotional support husband." Then I walked out. Sophie called 2 days later. She sounded tense. "Dad, Mom's upset. She told me you're being unreasonable." "She cheated on me for a year, Sophie. What's unreasonable is pretending that's normal." "It's not that simple," she said. "Relationships are complicated." "Yours and Tyler's too?" She hesitated. "That's none of your business." I felt a weight drop into my stomach. "So that's a yes?" "No, it's not a yes," she snapped. "But even if it were, things are different now. Women deserve the same freedom men have always had. I never cheated on your mother." "But you were boring," she muttered, thinking I wouldn't hear. Click. With everything lined up, I called Vanessa one more time. I asked her to dinner again. She sounded hopeful this time, like I was finally softening. She said she was glad we were reconnecting, that she could feel the old spark again. I told her I'd booked a table at the downtown Italian place with the string lights in the courtyard. She squealed a little. Said she'd wear that emerald dress I liked. She arrived 15 minutes early, hair done to perfection, that fake laugh she always used when she thought people were watching. We ordered wine. She kept touching my hand, smiling like we were newlyweds. I pretended to smile back. Halfway through the meal, I told her I'd been thinking about our future. Told her I was open to forgiving everything if we took steps to secure our financial trust. I said I wanted to restructure our wills, update our retirement beneficiaries, just in case anything happened to either of us. She agreed instantly, already halfway drunk from her third glass. She said, "That means so much to me, Daniel. I knew you were still the man I married." I said, "And you're still the woman who'll sign without reading." That part I only said in my head. Later that night, we visited her sister, a notary public. Vanessa signed every document I put in front of her without question. I made sure there were lots of pages, lots of signatures, lots of legal-sounding nonsense. She thought it was a show of trust. It wasn't. What she signed gave me full power of attorney, a short-term claim over her assets, and temporary authorization for loan restructuring. She was too buzzed and giddy to care. That would come later. The next morning, I went straight to the bank. I presented the paperwork. The smaller loan, $35,000 against her Audi, was approved on the spot. The bigger one, against the house, took a week. $2 million, routed through 3 different holding accounts and funneled offshore under a trust I'd created months earlier. During that week, I tied up everything at my job. I had already accepted the buyout offer, signed my exit paperwork, packed my office, wrote a warm farewell email to the team. The company wired me the full amount, just over $600,000. All of it gone before Vanessa even noticed I wasn't logging into our shared budgeting app anymore. I returned home that Friday to find her crying in the living room. The Audi was gone, repossessed. "Daniel, something's wrong with the bank. They froze my card. And my car, it's gone." I sat down calmly and poured myself a bourbon. "Weird," I said. "Maybe you should talk to your wellness coach." She screamed at me for the first time in years. Called me a snake, a liar. Said I betrayed her. "Only fair," I said. "Now we're even." Sophie called that weekend. "Dad, are you really sabotaging Mom's life?" "Your mother sabotaged her own life. I'm just making sure she doesn't keep mine. She's miserable." "So was I. And you didn't care then." She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "We still want Travis at the wedding." I said, "Then he can walk you down the aisle, because I won't be there." Click. The wedding was canceled a week later. Tyler called me. We met at a bar. I slid a folder across the table. Photos, transcripts, messages from Sophie's group chats. Audio of her mocking his job, his face, his family's money. He didn't say anything, just left the folder on the table and walked out. I never heard from him again. The next day, I picked up my truck and the Airstream trailer, both paid in full, registered under my cousin's name in Pensacola. I moved everything I had left into a new trust, wiped the financial trail clean, and deleted every shared password Vanessa and I had used. I sent one final text. "This number is deactivated. You'll never find me." Then I vanished. I heard things over time. Word travels when you stop answering your phone. Travis lost his job. His freelance gigs dried up. Turns out people don't want to hire a guy whose face shows up in a cheating scandal involving a client's wife. His ex-wife took everything in the divorce. The house, the car, child support, alimony. He lives above a vape shop now. Drives an old Honda with a missing hubcap. A far cry from the beachfront dream he was feeding Vanessa. Vanessa lost the house, couldn't cover the mortgage. The Audi defaulted. Her job at the agency vanished after HR got hold of the private investigator's footage. Her credit collapsed. She moved into a small 2-bedroom in a bad part of town. Sophie moved in with her. Neither of them has seen Tyler since. Sophie tried calling once. I let it ring out. They've been selling old clothes online to make rent. A neighbor said men come by at night, pay cash at the door. I don't ask for details. As for me, I live in Florida now. Keys territory. Quiet. Peaceful. I fish. I write. I consult when I want to. I'm tan, healthy, completely off the grid. Every month, I mail Vanessa a postcard with 2 words printed in black ink. Still winning.